My name is Maria and I come from Mexico.
My name is Toberto Tobin. I was born in West Africa, Liberia.
My name is Chang Wei Liang. I wasn't born here. I was born in Guangzhou, China.
My name is Ana Karen Alcocer. I migrated to the United States with my family when I was about 9 months old.
One memory I will never forget from Liberia is the sunny and beautiful day and my loving families and friends. People were very close and loving in Liberia.
One of my best memories was when my parents used to throw us birthday parties. We used to have big birthday parties. All of our family used to come over and it was just a great gathering. It was fun.
In my native country in China, when we celebrate Chinese New Year, a lot of times the kids always have fireworks. That's something that I always remember every year when it comes to Chinese New Year. That's when the families gather around, all my cousins, they're around my age. We all just go around, get a lot of fireworks and just light it off at night. It's something I really enjoy doing and still want to do it. Just because it's fun, it's loud, it's colorful, you get to be with my cousins. That's the memory that I really liked.
Burma ungdu mija kamata mija ke like Arian tuan in Madin Marian kan tuan ken kanwam satu julana bolong tampi kan ngai kan madi kan julana tu bolong tampi kan ngai ba Arian kepai layarin tuan misa kan ngap chatin lai kan tuan ngap chatin lai kan tuan julana jizong anwam.
So I don't remember migrating to the US because I was really young. But when the first instance when I found out that I was undocumented or maybe even from like another country was when I was in about 2nd grade. My dad was walking me to school and he told me, I have something really important to tell you. And I knew that there was something that he was afraid of telling me for some reason, and then he told me that I was undocumented and that I shouldn't tell anyone at school, and that I should tell everyone that I was born in the US. But I mean, I didn't even geographically know the difference between the United States and Mexico. I just knew that I spoke a different language and that I was in a community, like a Latino community, but I didn't ever know the implications of that, or what that meant even. And so that made me feel there was something wrong about being born somewhere else. I already felt, I guess, the fear of being undocumented, right then and there.
The transition from my native country to America, it was difficult. When I got here, my parents, they both went straight to the workforce because they do believe in hard working, doing hard work. They didn't study English, they didn't go to school, and they didn't really have a high education in China. So then, they went to work, I went to school. So a lot of the times when we get mails from the bank and stuff like that, it was really hard to even understand what they're telling us, what they're requesting and stuff like that.
When I came here, they signed me up for 3rd grade the last 2 months, and I was with an English speaker. I wasn't with a bilingual teacher, so that was kind of challenging for me. Basically, everything was new for me. I didn't speak English. I just knew the basics. I knew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pink, brown. I didn't know much.
I was 13 years old when I moved here, and my family and I moved to Oakland. We didn't choose to go to Oakland. On our flight, it said San Francisco, and we told we was gonna be living in San Francisco. Now that I lived in Oakland, I didn't know the community back there. I didn't know anything about Oakland. We just moved to Oakland, and when we first moved to Oakland, the transitions, I really had a difficult times. I have problem, especially I was picked on a lot because the kids in the neighborhood said that I was African and they were African American. So they used to pick on me a lot, and I remember one time I got jumped. I was jumped because I was African.
Like when I was in 3rd grade, my parents got a divorce, so I had to go to another elementary school. In the elementary school that I was attending before that, it was monolingual Spanish. We were just making the transition into learning some words in English. But as soon as I went to the other school, which was only a city away, that meant that like now I had to immerse myself in this like entire different culture, which was like monolingual English. There were like none of my teachers spoke Spanish. The students that I was there with, like some of them were Latino and did speak Spanish, but they refused to speak Spanish because like it was already implied that you are, like now going to a school that is monolingual English. So I think that was a big struggle for me, just like because it's not as if you're just learning a language, you're like learning different customs, you're learning different things of like rationalizing the world through this like whole new perspective that you didn't have before.
When I first moved out here, when I moved with my family, I moved to the U.S. I don't know what Berkeley was. I just went to school. I went to high school. School was the first thing. High school was the first thing in my mind. I went to high school. I have a lot of mentors who helped me out, and then during my senior year, I applied to colleges, and I got into Berkeley. One of my mentors helped me out. I remember the day I was submitting my application. I never thought I would get into Berkeley, although I had a very high GPA, and my GPA was very good. I had a lot of volunteers. I volunteered a lot. I did community colleges. I did community services, and I also played about 3 sports in high school. But I never thought my application was competitive enough for Berkeley. And when I found out I got into Berkeley, I was really excited.
So I started attending college right after high school. Summer session after I graduated, I was already enrolled in college, but it still took me a really long time to transfer out. I was in community college for 3 years and a half. Like usually a JC is considered to only be 2 years. And I think that the hardest thing, once again, like having that guidance, I just didn't know how to like make a plan and execute that plan. But I always knew I wanted to transfer out, and there was that expectation from my family and friends and even like teachers or professors at college that I would transfer out and pursue higher education that way. I applied to multiple UCs, a couple of Cal States, all in the state of California. And so, like when I finally did get that, like letter of like, yeah, like, we accepted you to UC Berkeley, I was really excited. And I think that like was a really significant point in my life where I felt like, wow, like, like you, like there are like, like hard work does pay off, like after a while. And all those hesitations and all that, like, all those times that you doubt yourself are just moments that like equally, like empower you and make you feel like you really are on a road, which is like it's like not, it doesn't stop, like all that, like all those 3 years that it took to like take all those classes and everything, they led me somewhere, and now I'm here at UC Berkeley, something that I had never thought that would be possible.
We came to America because my dad wanted to, really fulfill his paternal duties and really raise me where I could get a higher level education, where I could be more, within a social society, I guess. So the transition was definitely difficult, but it really taught me me lifelong skills that I could really use for the rest of my life.
I want to be somebody. That's just what I want to be. It doesn't matter what I major in. I just want to have an education. What my parents came here for me to do, basically. I want to study. I want to continue doing something with my life.
Although there's a lot of obstacles in place and we don't all have the same situation at home or at school or access to different things, I think that, you know, just taking advantage of those opportunities in instances when we do have that support and access and opportunities, like just like recognizing them when they're in front of us, and you know, like not holding ourselves back because of doubts that are always going to be there.
Always take advantage of the resources, and always encourage yourself, and know that everything that is within your reach, everything that you're capable of doing is worth doing, and tell yourself that you can accomplish anything you want to accomplish.